Hello everybody and welcome back to the wide world of gardening. Today I am getting around to finally transplanting this spider plant. I know, random Monday video, right? But anyway, today this spider plant is finally getting a new home, and you have been brought along because you really need to see this. You know how I talk all the time about a spider plant? It's an S&M houseplant. It likes abuse. This thing has thrown off, well, all of those pups that I transplanted downstairs came from this, and every other spider plant in the house, almost, except for two others, came from this thing. It is still continuing to produce flowers for us, as Shocks is demonstrating. And when I went to pull this out of its terracotta pot, it came out pretty easily. You know, it just squished the sides, right? And yeah, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say this is a little root bound, but if you look at the plant, I mean, it doesn't look really unhappy. Shocks looks unhappy because I'm sprinkling stuff on the floor, but I thought you should see that, and yeah, I definitely need to get this sucker into a larger container. Generally, it's recommended when transplanting houseplants to go one size larger. This is probably more than one size larger. In my defense, it's the next size that I have. So for terracotta pots around the Bear residence, this is one size larger. Gone ahead and put some tissue paper in the bottom of that so I don't dump a whole bunch of soil on the carpet. And then I've got some fresh potting soil in there. We are going to basically just plunk this right in. But before we cover this up, these rhizomous roots here, these big fat suckers, this is how the spider plant is able to withstand so much suffering. When it does get water, it goes directly to those roots. They swell up a little bit, and as the plant suffers, it kind of waters itself from there. It's a self-watering plant, if you will. Everybody thinks they're so clever with their self-watering planters. Well, nature beat you to it. Probably not the only one out there that does this, but it's the easiest one to demonstrate the concept with out of our house plants. So yes, I'm going to cover those up, put them back in the dark, and this will probably be in this pot for another decade or so. So we've topped that back up, patted it down, kind of firm, but not necessarily hard pack or anything. It's time to give this a good soak, and then yeah, like I said, this will probably be in that terracotta planter, I'm going to say at least 5 years, but around here probably 10. It's going to keep on throwing up pups. Might slow down while it fills up the planter right now, but we've still got all of these a-coming. And then all the spider plants downstairs, which I guess we'll go take a look at now. But yeah, about time, eh? And then we've got every single one of these little spider plants here. These cuttings all came from what we just transplanted upstairs. I see what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not counting that one. 7, 8, 9, 10. Not sure if I should count that one. 11 out of 18 that made it. So, you know, that's just over half, which is actually a little less than I thought. I thought it did better than that. But still, all of those coming from that one spider plant upstairs, basically because it was tortured so bad and it was so root bound. I mean, I've transplanted a few spider plants. I've never really seen anything quite that root bound with them. But clearly these will be just fine in these little trays. Well, until I need these trays for peppers, I suspect, is how long they'll stay in there. Just call a duck a duck. Alright, Tyler, you wanted to take a look at the aquaponic garden, so since I'm making a somewhat unexpected video here on Monday, let's just do that. There's not a whole lot to see. I still haven't done the cleaning. Still undecided on the Yahi Fantasy. This little sage seems to be sprouting up from where I topped it, so that's good. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Shocks found us a tricolor sage, so I'm going to be bringing that down and probably transplanting it in the back there Or over here, you know, maybe like sage pillars on either side, basil in the middle. Actually, why not? It's silly enough. I'll take it. That works. I'm gonna try a cutting from it, I should say, and hopefully we'll root it and I can get it growing there. I have a few different herbs that I'm hoping to take cuttings from, and then maybe I can grow them in the aquaponics here. Maybe I can grow them out next year. We'll see. I mean, the mint, clearly quite happy, but one really only needs to store so much mint when you've got it thriving in the basement. So it's kind of excessive. Once again, I need to basically just kind of shear this sucker down to the top of the planter, and then I'm sure it'll be just fine. These basil, it's not a strong looking plant, is it? So, not quite sure how long they've got. I may pull them out when I do the cleanup, because, you know, I might as well, right? But at the same time, when I do the cleanup, I've got the opportunity to clean these guys up. I can do the aphid shake in the fish tank and clean them off. Any loose leaves will come off and the fish will eat those too, so that's a win. And then maybe if I stuff this sucker all the way down into the bottom, it can pretend it's a stable, healthy plant. Because that's just disappointing, you know? And this here, I think these leaves are getting larger too now that the ahi panic is out of here. It was sucking back pretty much all the nutrients that the mint left, I think. I mean, this is definitely taking nitrogen out of the garden, isn't it? So maybe cutting the mint back will help these basil do a little better too. Might help the sage do a little better. I don't know if I'm putting that fantasy in or not. And I'm still really undecided on the coffee tree, but apparently I need to water it in general. Oh yeah, that's scary like. That's not good. I'll water that before we're done here today. But yeah, and then I look at the aquaponics means I look at the fish tank. I still haven't done the underwater video. But these guys are getting a lot less camera shy, so that's nice. Peaches there, growing quite nicely. That's the only one out of all these feeder fish that has shown any interest at all in eating live worms. Because as I find them digging around in the garden, I do bring a few, put them in my bin, and I have dropped one or two, yeah, two I think so far, into the tank here. And peaches, yeah, out of 21 fish. The pretty pastel one, that's the killer. Oh, look how black those two shadowfish are. There's that one there, and there's the black and orange one there, of course. The other shadowfish, oh, both of them in that shot. Looking good. See, while my computer doesn't necessarily like to process HD, it does seem to suffer through the HD from the underwater camera. Not quite sure what's up with that. But I am looking forward to seeing these guys a little better from that perspective. And hopefully that'll give us a better look at their colors. I think I'll probably kill the purple light overhead for that. Run with maybe a fluorescent spectrum or something. But yes, I really should get on to doing that soon. Well, there you go, everybody. A little bit of random today. I don't normally post anything on this channel on Mondays, and I hadn't really planned on doing it. But when I saw those roots on that spider plant, I just had to share. What can I say? Being a YouTube creator or gardener on YouTube, however you want to word that, is it's kind of addicting, you know? You see these things and you just want to share. It's like, hey, this is cool, check it out. It's like show and tell for grown-ups. All right, and on that note, I will see you tomorrow. Probably take a look at the troll garden. I think the weather's supposed to be decent for that. So, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.